Ta-da. Ta-da. Two streams in one day. I know, it's crazy. Is the procedure of a run guaranteed to appear in message type check.procedure bodies before it is executed? Yes. Yes. Unless the compiler is broken. Basically, I actually don't know if this is in the documentation anywhere, but there's basically a linear pipeline that code has to go through, right? Like parsing, type checking, and then sizing, right? So you know how big all the things are. And then messaging, and that's so that you get the opportunity to change the code. And then bytecode generation after messaging, right? And then you can run it after the bytecode is generated. So yeah, it absolutely has to go through messaging well before anything can happen. Okay. How's it going, everybody? We need to figure out. Oh. I don't know. We'll do that. So let's make sure that compiles. Hey, look, it doesn't. Rewind effect T. Really? Oh, it's undo effect. Undo effect T. Oh, this is in the wrong place. Move toward. Wanted 4, got 3. Oh, I didn't do the DT. Target DT rates. DT rates. Okay. So for our previous games, I always wrote the audio code. For this game, the audio content team that we're working with wanted to use WWise, so we're fucking using that. And I don't like it, but it does save us some development time in terms of having the audio team have a good UI that they know how to use. And after we do the initial release of this game, we'll backport it to our own audio code. Okay. So here's what I want to do is I want to go work on the post-process effect or something. Let's go to a level that has graphics. I'm free. Finally. Okay. So let's make sure this is still being used. Output color.x equals 0. Yep, okay. Great. Why doesn't this have a title bar? Right. So, right, so I can change this. So we're going to have a variable that just goes into this shader that says what the rewind effect parameter is. And then, I don't know. Let's just do this as our first cut. So let's find out where this shader gets set. HDR to LDR. Post-processing, easy. So we set all this bullshit, right? I'm not going to worry about that. Undo effect T. Okay. So now I'm going to go here. All right, and then I'm going to add this. What are some of these parameters that we set? Lift, adjust, uniform, float, undo, effect, T. Boom. Equals 0, dot 0. All right, so all right, now if I set it to 1, there we go. All right, so now we recompile. Achoo!
I'm free. Fine.
So that's our first undo visual effect. It's not very fancy. But we shall augment it.
I'm free.
I do think this.
Fine.
Yeah, like. Actually, no. That went the wrong way. Because I want a long tail on it.
I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. Finally.
All right, so now we add to the effect. It's not as good as in braid. Gosh, the thing I did in 4 minutes is not as good as in braid. Wow. Wow. Guess it's time to throw in the towel. I know. I know. All right.
I'm free. Finally.
Okay, so what I'm thinking that I want to do is have like a noise displacement function. So what we're going to do, we're going to put an if statement in our shader. All right. This is actually if on a uniform, so not expensive. right? A uniform is constant for all threads in the shader. And so there's not like, you know,
I'm
random
free.
prediction problems. Like you know the answer to it.
I'm free.
All right. And now what I want to do for the I forget what they're called for the viewer. I have some noise stuff. That I'm just gonna. I don't know. Let's just start with a Perlin noise. And we're just going to paste it. Right? And we'll probably make a header file out of this in a little bit. Now check in, factor into a header file, please. Dude, oh. I think I hit save and the fucking shader compiler crashed because I didn't write it. Undeclared identifier #33. Yeah, so run with the old shader, jerks. God, how fucking hard is that? Is this game using GL still? No, fuck GL, it's stupid.
I'm
All right.
free.
So we can start with some Perlin noise, which also isn't going to look that good. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say vec3 noise equals Perlin noise of vec3 fragpos.xy. Did res come from... Okay, we're going to get res, the PS2 game. VP time. This is just total hack constants. Undeclared identifier frag pause. Okay. Wait. Frag pause is literally times resolution. Motherfucker. All right. Cannot access UV. Right. So the deal is these shaders are different. With this one, you know, I was working from an original shader that was a pixel by pixel effect, but decided to convert it to world space coordinates. So this isn't really the fragment position, right? Here, maybe I do want the fragment position. I don't know how to get that in our shading language because I never write shaders these days. Looks all frame buffer depth. GL frag chord, okay. Okay, so I don't know why we do that, but that's apparently we do that. Okay, so I don't know. That's a horrible idea. So we're just going to have this be on all the time. You can't double or compare. Bro. That sucks. Okay. So that doesn't appear to be doing anything. Let me just see the noise pattern. Okay, that's very low frequency noise. Okay. All right, so now I'm just sort of putting this noise in the red channel, which isn't a very good thing to do. So now I want to displace it. So somewhere here we're going to sample. Vec2 sample UV is this, and then that's going to be way too much. Undeclared identifier output color. Oops. Okay. That's cool. Times okay, it's a little bit extreme. All right. Fourth power. Okay, we'll go a little further on this. Gonna go fifth power. That's just a little bit annoying though. Like, we might want to adapt
I'm free.
the effect when you do it a lot.
I'm
Still too much.
I'm free.
Oh. Interesting. Okay, this isn't working right. That's fine. Could vignette the effect only on the screen? True. My goal right now is not really to develop a final effect, because we're going to want to like think hard and design this effect. So right now, my main goal was just to hook this up to the gameplay code and make it good, which is almost
I'm
done.
free.
Here's the thing.
I'm
I don't like how like the noise goes the same way every rewind, right?
I'm free.
We want to be able to give the randomizer something different. So there's that. Because like if I just keep tapping it, you see it's the same distortions. I feel like it would be better if that weren't true.
I'm free. I'm free.
But also, let's do some desaturation. Can we say max? Maybe.
I'm free.
Work? Oh, because we already used it.
I'm free. free. I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. Finally. I'm free. Finally.
Add T to the noise and fract it. I mean, we already are, sort of, but we're not adding.
I'm free.
I think not by very much. Right, so let's go back to that. Because we have this time. Oh, you know what? Is Perlin noise orthogonal in each component? No, it's not, right? Yeah, so there we go. See, that's
Fine.
that looks better though, because now we don't have to worry about seeing the same thing every time. It's still too fast. I think that's okay for a
free.
placeholder effect. This is kind of okay.
I'm free.
My only problem is that staring at the screen is kind of giving me a headache. I don't want it to be something. I'm sure this is also quite poor in Twitch compression, right?
I'm free. Finally. I'm free. Finally.
Yeah, more dense level, good idea. Let's just go to the overworld for a second. I'm running. I mean, that's pretty okay. I kind of don't like the way the whole scene gets darker due to the desaturation. But that's something we could work on later. We could like add luminance to the colors or something. It seems a bit too much. Yeah, oh, you know what? It's a good point. Because it's going from 0 to 1. Wait. Wait. There we go. I could actually make it last longer though now. Yeah, so the thing is I'm hacking this into the tone mapping scotopic color thing. I probably should just desaturate. I think that would look better. Like that. Yeah, let me just go. Why am I there? Um, okay, let's try this. I'm going to comment that out. If we have undo effect T, we're gonna we're just interpolating toward this. All right. So we're no longer hacking it into the scotopic factor. See, that just looks cleaner. We're doing our own DSAT. And so there, we don't even have to go all the way, right? We do like a 0.5. That looks cool. Maybe 0.6. Like, we don't lose brightness on the whole scene the whole fucking time, right? What about just a vignette? We could do that as well. I don't know. I feel like the vignetting might be part of what made people nauseous in The Witness, so I kind of want to be careful with that stuff. Okay, you know what? We're just about done. Has it really only been 40 minutes, or did the stream reset again? Wow. Compare that to the 2.5 hours just to draw some stuff on the screen. Let's try a couple other levels. Here's one that has green skins. It's too late. Too soon. I mean, this is totally fine for now. I think I do just want to turn it down, not this part, but this part just a little bit more. It's like not an incredible amount, but just some. And instead of 009 there, we could multiply this by 10 and divide these by 10. Oh God! Okay, that did not have the same result. This looks like a Unity game engine game now. It's actually not as bad as I thought. Okay, yeah, I was confused that that would do the thing. We could lower the frequency a bit though. I don't like it for now. This is fine. Like I said, we're going to do the real effect later. The goal here is just to hook it up to gameplay and have something reasonable that beta testers can play. Right? And we're going to have some other effects too. So for example, when we do an undo, we know when objects moved from one square to another. So you could imagine us drawing streaks back from the old position to the new position, right? Like when my character moves around, the character can have some effect on them, and then there could be some streaks between there and the old square. Like that's all fine. That's all stuff that we can do. Context-based post-processing. Yeah, I mean, you could imagine, for example, that we have some level of this effect across the screen that's like it is now, or maybe even a little bit less. But then in areas where a lot of objects change, right, what we could do is write a little, like imagine that we had a spare buffer where we draw just a circle around the character, and then we blur that out, right? And if there's other stuff moving on the screen at the same time, we do the same thing. And then those amplify this effect, right? So in areas where gameplay objects are actually moving due to undo, you get like more spaz. If overdone, that could be annoying, but it could be kind of cool. But we're not doing that right now. What I'm going to do right now, because I promised Casey we would do gaming tonight. What we're going to do right now is fix this. And that shouldn't be too hard. Let me also make sure that I don't think it should happen in the editor, but I'm going to edit some objects and move them around and undo, undo, undo. There we go. Now we could put that effect in the editor, but it would probably just annoy the shit out of everybody. Okay. That's great. So let's go into side undo UI. And we're not going to do this here. I don't remember how any of this works. I don't know why. I mean, I guess I'm going to do this. And this, I think. Bro. Oh my God, we have a callback. Holy fuck. Okay. This is terrible. We can do that though. We're fine. Damn it. Why is it doing this? Did we not? Are you not entertained? Um. Okay, hold on. Oh, yeah, I'm doing this too late. So this gets reset to -1 is the problem. Okay. I think that's not a useful check, but it's probably okay. Callbacks. Bro, what? I don't understand this code that I wrote. I'm having a very hard time with it. Why did I do it this way? Okay. So this actually isn't the... Oh God, guys. The problem isn't what I thought it was. What I thought the problem was that we were resetting the undo every frame because we're doing some funky thing. That's not it. My original change was fine. The problem is the timer that we are using, I think. I think the problem is the timer that we are using is 0. Because we're paused because this UI is open. Because it's a simulation time. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is go over here and say that. Because that makes, because time does not pass while the side undo UI is open, because simulation time does not pass. All right. Now we get to go change it back. Now we get to go change it back. Let's rack up some moves. Cool, cool, cool. You know, I could go with a little more desaturation again. On levels like this, okay, we're getting rid of that as well. Oh, we have to factor that. Oh my God. All right. Yeah, we're okay. Okay, so yeah, like I thought, now our thing there isn't good, but whoops. Our original thing should be fine, which was this. And actually, we could just do this instead of having that changed variable. A normal undo as well, yes. I mean, none of what we're doing should affect that at all, but it's a, you know, it's a good thing to just do that. Okay, so normal undos. Cool. And then panel open. All the things, all the things. Super cool. GG's. Okay, so I probably shouldn't have exited that, but now I want to, like I said, factor this out. Include Perlin, just noise. All right. Well, there is a fucking noise.slh. Okay, so Perlin noise and hash33 and mod3 are all going to go. Boom. And this will also go into viewer. Wait. How is it 4SC? How did I lose these characters? Okay. Let's just do this. And then we're going to get the Worley. Worley noise stuff. I think it uses the Perlin noise, doesn't it? Maybe not. We just use Perlin noise as an input. Okay. Okay, let's see. See how much of we don't have to recompile this, but I'm doing it anyway. We not only implemented our new feature, we made sure it worked in all cases in which it is called, and we did some code cleanup. Now, I did not turn this off during Benny test, so Benny test rewinds will also have this effect, but I think that's fine. So that still works. This still works. Now we have to test, because I factored this noise function also out of the thing that does these level screenshots. So like, oh, there aren't any on this screen, lol. I should fix that while we're here. Okay, I broke that one. Good thing we checked it. How did I break it? Let's go back over here. Oh, I haven't saved the file. So, okay, look, all you have to do is save the file, guys. Okay, so oh, I thought there wasn't one on that screen, and it was probably just that it wasn't working, but it wasn't working in such a way that it didn't display. Yeah, there we go. So GG's. That was 1 hour? Are you serious? And I hope I didn't miss a no check-in, but we'll find out if I did. I feel like that was more than an hour and the stream just split or something, but maybe not. Four weeks of industry standard work. Dude, there are guys for whom that would be 3 months. And I've worked with some of them. Okay, not lately. Not lately. Our current team is quite good and productive, but man, I've been some places in the games industry. After I check in, I'm gonna do a release build with a Benny test. No reason to wait for the check-in. All right. Add a an undo effect. Easy clap. Easy clap. You're also just thinking about whether you take too much time to get things done. Everybody takes too much time to get things done. No matter how fast you are, you probably should be trying to be faster. Like, look at me, dude. I haven't released anything since 2016. That'll start changing soon. But yeah, I mean, since 2016, we've been doing this entire game, which is the biggest game we've ever done, and the engine, new engine, and the programming language, and a certain other project that will actually come out. So it is a lot of work. It's just, all I'm saying is, dude, if I could have done it in a third the time and had the same quality level, that would have been great, right? Who wouldn't want that? So just always be trying to figure out how to go faster. There's, you know, I easily could have, like, without even thinking that hard, I could have shaved, I could think of ways to shave 6 months off of everything. That's still a long, you know, not that much of the project, but it's significant, right? It's more than 10%. You know, of course, that's hindsight, and it's very easy to see things in hindsight, but, you know, it is what it is. Okay, so. How would I have shaved 6 months off the project? I would rather not say, because, you know, some of it involves other people. But I mean off of everything. So, like, I could have shaved a lot of time off this. Okay, well, one way that I could have shaved a lot of time off this game in terms of my own programming work was to just, like, I did several versions of the gameplay system that were all not robust enough to build this puzzle game before I ended up with the transaction system that we have now, right? That's not 6 months, but it's easily 3 or 4 of my own programming time. And that's not for the whole project. So when I say 6 months, I mean 6 months of all people on all projects, right? And so, but that's a significant chunk right there, right? Like, if I just hadn't fucked around, like one of my superpowers in programming is that I'm just very chill about programming, and I'll rough draft things and then revise them, and we get to a high quality target. But sometimes rough drafting things is a waste of time. And so sometimes I end up wasting time doing that. I think on balance it's good, but if I had better judgment in specific cases like that, I could go faster by not doing wasted work. And in that specific kind of a case, there's also a psychological element, which is like, oh my God, I've got all this work to do. We're trying to make a new engine and a game and a compiler, and I just don't want to think about things right now. But we need some kind of gameplay system, so let me just type some shit in so we can go, right? It's like, okay, but like, man, could have gone faster. Could have gone faster. Do I think those iterations were worthwhile? Did I learn things? I mean, I learned things, but I would have rather just done it the other way. That's my answer to that. I would have rather just taken transactionality seriously. I just didn't want to. And it wasn't that hard. Like, the thing we ended up with isn't that hard. It's just, it would have been better. I don't know. You know? It's fine. Okay. We're going to check this in. Oh, no. I was going to do a Benny test. We already checked it in. Having different things to work on when you get tired of one can be kind of helpful to do more work overall. That is true. I have always found that to be true to me, for me as well. The only problem now when you have too many things to work on, it can be stressful, right? So the ideal for me was always a main project, and then a side project that I would work on once in a while to blow off steam, but that there's no deadline attached to, right? And that's great and relaxing and fun. The problem right now is there's like 3 main projects that all need to get done, and that's like not fun. see the rewind effect kicking in once in a while. Like the thing is that the undo UI timer is running at 1x speed, so you'll see the effect more than you feel like you should because it's not accelerating like the rest of the game speeds. So much audio. Are you guys hearing audio? Oh yeah, let's turn that off. I am not hearing audio because I have mine muted, but OBS doesn't care about that. Having a deadline for a language doesn't make sense. Well, there's no strict deadline for it, but I do feel the deadline pressure to fix bugs and get features moving along at a certain rate and to release new betas to the people once in a while, right? So there are deadlines in that sense. Like if I went like 3 months and didn't do anything and didn't make the language better, that wouldn't be so great, I think. Although honestly, it's come far enough along that we could afford to do that once or twice now, right? I just don't want to, right? I'd rather keep it rolling. Rather keep it rolling. What was the main aim behind doing that? I mean, there's videos that you can watch. You know what, guys? I deserve ice cream. The dirty secret is I already had ice cream today before the stream. But this was such a good job that I deserve more ice cream because this is something that we've been wanting to have for a long time. Like, you should have some kind of visual effect when you do undo. It's not done yet, but it's like that. It gives you the sense of it, which is great. So I'm going to do some, let me see what the flavors are though. I'm going to try honeycomb French ice cream. And if I don't like it, we'll switch to the vanilla. Uh-oh. We've got an issue. It may not have anything to do with what this has nothing to do with what we were working on. This is the entity null? No. What's the exception? This is a release build, so it's a little bit annoying. In fact, I'm amazed. We're going to repro this in a debug build. I don't think this has nothing to do. So somebody on the team was doing some stuff having to do with falling, and I was talking to him about it over email, and it has caused this. So skipping near beams. I'm going to have to send a nastygram saying, please fucking run a Benny test when you change the gameplay code, please. It's still writing the mini dump. All right, so we're going to run the debug build. Hopefully it repros in the debug build, right? We'll find out. Looks like it reproed. I got my ice cream. Hell yeah, brother. Okay, and we reproed our thing in a debug build. Array bounds check fail. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's what I fucking thought. I'm just going to delegate this. I don't know why he thinks there's always a move there. So let's look at it for a second. Add falling move. There's cases in which we return. Okay. Somebody else doesn't get ice cream because they crashed the game, and I'm gonna send a nastygram. Not that. I'm just gonna say please, etc. These changes crashed the game. These changes to falling crashed the game on some levels, e.g. skipping near beams. See included screenshot. The problem is that the code assumes falling move exists. Fall move, right? Fall move exists. But add falling move obviously can return without adding a move in several cases. So what you really want to do is ensure that add falling move actually added a move. It's not enough to just check whether transaction.singleMoves is empty or not, because someone else during the same frame might have started falling itself, thus making the transaction non-empty. Even if add falling move added no move for this entity. I discovered this problem while running the full game test for some changes, some other changes I had made. In principle, I don't know whether my changes crashed the game, because I can't tell because it is crashing first due to these changes. Thus, it is important to run one of these tests on all the levels whenever you change the gameplay code in a non-trivial way like this. Okay. Okay. Paste the screenshot. Let me just delete all this just to make it less confusing. Okay. Nastygram is sent. We could come out of high security mode. So we can't run the Benny test on the rest of the levels, but we got through enough that I feel okay about this change. And I can have my ice cream. I mean, I didn't send a meanie. I sent exactly the email that you heard me say. I dictated the email as I was typing it, so, you know, there's no need to be abrasive in situations like, it's like, okay, this happens. I crash the game sometimes. You know, everybody does. You just got to figure it out and get through it. In fact, I introduced some stuff that crashed the editor in particular situations just a few weeks ago. That said, we don't have an automated test to test the editor, and we do have an automated test for this, but yeah. It's easy to get pissy when you know something so intimately. It's true. It's also just like it's easy for programmers to get annoyed. That's just how it is, right? And it's just, I've been living that long enough that I know it's like, okay, we don't, that's not a productive way to be. Usually. Sometimes it is appropriate to just be annoyed, but this isn't one of them, I don't think. Especially when your coworker 5 feet away wants the loudest, most clicky keyboard. Dude, I use the loudest, most clicky keyboard. Yeah, so the crash was just an array bounds check fail in this, which sounds reasonable because we just added a move here. We said add falling move and then just get a pointer to the move. The problem is this array might be empty because maybe we didn't add a falling move. Even though this function is called add falling move, it doesn't always add a falling move. So maybe it should be called maybe add falling move. I don't know. And Casey is here right in time. We have just finished, Casey. We have finished the historic, finally adding a freaking special effect for undo in this video game. Like every time we show the video game, for years, everyone's always like, are you gonna have a cool effect when you undo? And it's like, I don't know. I kind of made this game about rewind that anyway, yeah. Okay, this tea okay, hold on. I just made a hot tea to go with my celebration ice cream. The tea is fucking gross, so I'm going to pour it out right now. I threw it on the ground. Threw it on the ground. No, the tea was in general gross. It was just gross tea. Did I see the article about ice cream being maybe good for you? I didn't read the article, but I know that it exists. I actually believe it. Here's the thing. Sugar, I don't think is actually very bad for you, except in extremely elevated quantities. Fat, I don't think is very bad for you, like natural fat. Trans fat and all that shit is bad. And of course, the polyunsaturated fats, which is what all the seed oils are. But just like regular fat from an animal, like we've had for thousands of years, I don't think is bad for you. And the nutritional advice right now is that all these things are bad. But we know the nutritional advice is completely fucked, because if it wasn't, every American wouldn't be a giant fucking lard ass, right? So we know the current understanding is extremely wrong. Okay, I'm going to split the stream so that people can have a clean programming stream to watch. Back in a second.